Most people are taught from childhood that friends are everything, that loyalty is sacred, and that the people closest to you will always stand by your side. But reality operates on a completely different level, and if you truly want power, influence, and control over your life, you must understand a brutal truth that very few dare to accept. Friends are often the most dangerous people around you. Not because they are evil, but because they are human, and human nature is driven by envy, comparison, and hidden resentment. And this is exactly what Law 2 from the 48 Laws of Power teaches. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Because a friend who watches you rise will silently compare your success with their own failure. They will smile at your achievements, but feel uncomfortable inside. And over time, that discomfort turns into jealousy, then into subtle sabotage, and eventually, betrayal. While an enemy, on the other hand, is predictable. They don't hide their intentions. They don't pretend to like you. And if you manage to convert an enemy into an ally, they will often prove far more loyal than a friend. Because they have something to prove. They want to earn your trust. They want to justify the second chance you gave them. And history has repeatedly shown this pattern. Take the story of Emperor Michael III, a young ruler who trusted his closest friend Basilius, a man he raised from nothing, gave wealth, education, power, and status, believing gratitude would guarantee loyalty. But power changes people. Exposure to luxury creates hunger. And once Basilius tasted authority, he didn't feel thankful, he felt entitled. He didn't see himself as a beneficiary, he saw himself as deserving. And that shift in mindset is what destroyed Michael. Because when you give too much to a friend, you unknowingly create imbalance. And imbalance breeds resentment, not loyalty. And in the end, Basilius didn't just betray him, he orchestrated his death and took the throne, proving that emotional attachment blinds judgment, while strategic thinking preserves power. And this is where most people fail. They mix emotions with decisions. They hire friends. They trust blindly. They assume loyalty is permanent. But power does not reward emotional thinking. It rewards clarity, distance, and calculation. Because in professional and power-driven environments, competence always outweighs connection. The best person for the job is rarely your friend, and choosing friendship over skill weakens your position, limits your growth, and exposes you to unnecessary risk. And if you look deeper, you'll realize that friends often avoid telling you the truth. They protect your feelings instead of sharpening your edge. They agree to maintain harmony, not accuracy. And this creates a dangerous illusion where you believe you're doing everything right while slowly moving toward failure. Whereas an enemy will criticize you, challenge you, and force you to improve. And that friction is valuable. That resistance builds strength. Just like in the case of Emperor Sung of China, who understood that friends in power positions were potential threats. So instead of trusting them, he neutralized them by removing their authority and converting former enemies into loyal supporters. Because an enemy who is spared, respected, and elevated becomes deeply committed. They recognize the opportunity they've been given and work harder to maintain it. And this is the essence of strategic power, not eliminating opposition blindly, but transforming it into an advantage. And even in modern times, powerful figures have used this principle effectively. They collaborate with critics. They negotiate with rivals. They understand that alignment of interests is stronger than emotional bonds. And here's the deeper psychological truth most people ignore. Gratitude fades quickly, but the desire to prove oneself lasts much longer. A friend may feel grateful for a moment, but soon they normalize your help. They forget the past and start expecting more. While an enemy-turned-ally constantly remembers where they came from and what they risk losing. And that keeps them loyal, focused, and useful. And this doesn't mean you should live in paranoia or abandon all friendships. It means you must separate friendship from strategy. Keep friends for personal life, but in matters of power, business, and ambition, rely on those who are competent, driven, and aligned with your goals, not those who are emotionally attached to you. And always maintain a certain distance, because familiarity reduces respect, and excessive closeness creates opportunities for exploitation. And if you truly want to dominate your environment, you must learn to think beyond emotions. You must analyze people based on incentives, motivations, and behavior patterns, not feelings. And you must accept that loyalty is rarely unconditional. It is usually transactional, based on value, benefit,